everyone. Welcome to the Yarn and You Girl podcast. I'm Janine, your host. I'm also known as Yarn and You on Instagram and Facebook, or Yarn and You Girl on Ravelry if you're looking for me there. Thank you everyone for coming over and spending a little bit of time with me today. This is my channel, just kind of about knitting and crafting and all that good stuff. Sometimes a little crochet, sometimes a little bit of sewing. It just depends on what I'm interested in, but it's mostly about knitting, so I hope that's why you're here. It's been a little bit of time since I've been on the podcast. I've been super busy with shows where I've gone and done like pop-up fair type things. So that's been really fun. I have kind of a hoarse voice today too because yesterday was Thanksgiving and my family came over. We had probably about 20 people and we're all very loud. And my brother brought over a rock band and I think I sang myself hoarse on that game yesterday. So I'm a little scratchy. I feel like I have that sexy, rough voice today. So I'm not sick, just a little scratchy in the throat. We had so much fun, and I hope if you're here in the United States, I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving, if you celebrate Thanksgiving. And I ate myself like into oblivion yesterday. Everything was so good. We've always done it at my house since I've lived in this house because we have 2 ovens. It's a little bit easier to cook all the accoutrements when you have 2 ovens. And my sister, it's a tradition too for the ladies of the family to kind of come over the day before Thanksgiving and do all the desserts. So my sister and her kids, my mom, my brother's girlfriend, all came over and we made desserts all day Wednesday. Lots of apple pie, pumpkin pie, pecan stuff. I mean, we've had way too many desserts. But you have to have a little bit of something for everybody. And then there's this huge thing about tradition, of course. My husband is a huge tradition fan. So if he had it when he was a kid and it was something that he remembers from Thanksgiving as a child, it's like we have to have it. So my sister always makes homemade cranberry sauce, and it's wonderful, fresh cranberries. It's like orange zest and apple chunks, and it's super good. But we always have to have a can of the gelled cranberry sauce because my husband and her husband as well both think it's not Thanksgiving without jelly cranberry sauce that when you plop it out of the can, it literally has the ridges from the can. So we had to make sure we have that. My husband loves pumpkin pie. Had to make sure we had a pumpkin pie, even though majority of my family don't like pumpkin pie. I like pumpkin pie, but my sister could do without, and my brother could do without. I think it's something to do with the texture. And so, then we have to have this and that and the other thing. So you end up having 1,000 different desserts, but it was so good. Oh, excuse me. So that's what I've been busy with that, obviously. That's why I'm doing my podcast today. I tried to podcast before I went to Puyallup, which was actually last weekend. So I had a fair, the Quilt Craft and Sewing Festival last weekend in Puyallup. It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And it was amazing. I met so many amazing people. And thank you so much if you stopped by and said hi. Hi, Robin. Robin stopped by and visited me at the booth, and that was really awesome. I had just a great show. I met so many nice people. But I tried to do a podcast before the show to kind of let you guys know what's been going on. And that would have been my regular podcast day. But with everything leading up to that, I felt like I did a podcast. It was about a half an hour. I just felt like it was very rushed, and I think I was forgetting things, and I really don't want to do that. So I really wanted to have time to spend and sit down and write out some show notes, which I did this morning, and kind of go with it, because that rush job that I did, it would have been fine, and I'm sure you guys would have been okay with it. But I just wanted to have, just a little bit more to share with you guys. So today I have a few finished objects and just a couple works in progress. I do have a lot of acquisitions, and I have a shop update to let you guys know about as well. Because I had all these shows, I haven't been updating yarn on the website because I wanted to make sure I had inventory for the shows. Oh, Lord. That's going to be rough if I keep yawning all day. So I do have a little bit of a shop update. Everything that I'm going to show you is going to be ready to ship. So some of it normally would be dyed to order, but I have quite a bit of ready to ship stuff that I would love to share out there in the world. But first off, let's just get down to some of the nitty-gritty of the podcast. Thank you again if you're a new viewer, new subscriber. We've hit over 800 subscribers. I'm very excited about that. So I have a giveaway for you guys for that. And because I was thinking kind of about tradition and with holidays and things like that, I think what I'm going to do is open a thread and post a question. And the question will be, let me make sure I get this right. What's your favorite holiday tradition? It can be, anything, food-wise, something that you guys always do together as a family. I would love to hear what your favorite holiday tradition is. Sorry guys, lots of yawning today. And then I'm going to pick a winner. And the winner, I went through my stash and I kind of came up with some stuff. I've got a skein of yarn and a bag for you guys. The winner's going to get this project bag, this drawstring project bag that I made. Polka dots and this peachy coral color. And along with that, they're going to get this skein of Frolicking Feet by Done Roving Yarns. It is 100% superwash merino, and it is 480 yards and 4 ounces. And the color is Anemone Wildflower. So I'm gifting this and this project bag for my 800 subscriber giveaway. So if you want to join in on that, make sure you go over to the Yarn and You Girl podcast group on Ravelry and enter the thread by answering the question. And I will pick a winner from that thread next episode. So in about 2 weeks, you have about 2 weeks or so to get your name in there. And then be sure to watch the next episode to see if you are the winner of this lovely skein of sock yarn and project bag. So I hope you guys enjoy that. I think this would be a great prize to win. I want to win prizes. I love the idea of winning prizes. I'm not so good at entering in for giveaways. I feel like I don't know, it's like the lottery. Wouldn't it be great to win the lottery? And then, I enter in one time or I buy a ticket one time and I don't win. And it's like, well, I'm never going to win. I'm never going to win. But, sometimes there's only a couple entries in these giveaways for some of these podcasts. And so I do try to enter into some of them. I still haven't won anything yet, but it's okay because I think that, if it's one of these bigger podcasters that they have lots and lots of people, entering in, the odds are not as good for you to win. But my podcast is kind of small still. And you could totally win something if you go over there. There may only be a small selection of people that decide they want to enter. So you should be one of those people. Go over there, answer that question, what's your favorite holiday tradition? And maybe you could win that project bag and that skein of yarn. I'm drinking my blue raspberry spark. I need it. Obviously, I've already been yawning quite a bit. Like I said, we played Rock Band yesterday for the majority of the day in between cooking and eating and stuff. And I stayed up a little bit later than I normally would have. So I'm a little tired. But that's okay because I'm here and I'm ready to go. And I really am glad to be back. I feel like it's been too long between podcasts. And so I'm ready. I actually put on my So Faded. This is one of my finished objects, so I'll talk about it in a little bit. But I put it on this morning, and my husband's like, are you doing a podcast today? He's like, I could tell. You put on your new sweater. So I was very excited. I really, really wanted to get back into the swing of things. So I also wanted to talk about the gift along, knit along that we're doing right now. It is a couple month long knit along. It's going to go through the December 25th, so through Christmas. And you can enter in to win one of a couple prizes right now. I have a project bag from Little Fish Stitches Yarn Company, or her Etsy shop is called Creations by Guppy. And I have a sock kind of kit. It has a pattern, sock yarn, and beads to go with the pattern. And so far that's what I've got. I'm kind of going through my stuff too, and I'll be coming up with some other things to add, but that's what I have so far. Also, if you are a maker and you want to donate something to that gift along, knit along, I would love to hear from you. You can message me on Instagram or Ravelry and let me know if you'd be interested in donating for a project for that. I would love to plug you guys and share some of your beautiful creations. So far, we have quite a few entries into the gift along, knit along. So anything goes. It could have been a work in progress. It is a crochet along or knit along, and it can be a teeny tiny ornament all the way up to a sweater for somebody else. It really doesn't matter what it is. It just has to be a gift that you're planning on giving to someone for one of the upcoming holidays that you might be celebrating. So if you do, I know this is the time for gift knitting. Everybody's kind of getting into it. So if you are making something for somebody else, please go over to the Ravelry group and enter in to win the gift along, knit along. Like I said, that's going on now, and I have a chatter thread and a finished object thread, and there might be prizes being pulled from both. It just depends on how many different prizes I can come up with. So that's one of the things. One of the other things that I wanted to talk about. And then I also wanted to talk about the something I participated in recently, which was so much fun. And I had heard about it last year, and I didn't really know much about it or kind of get into it at all. But I was able to participate this year, and it was so amazing. And that was the Get Your Yarn Wish Granted that was kind of going around on Instagram maybe a week or so ago. It was, you kind of threw out a wish, like I really wish to use, to try out some yarn from this company. And if there was another knitter out there or that particular fiber artist or designer, they might, decide to gift it to you. So I know I granted a couple wishes. I granted a couple pattern wishes. I sent out some yarn. It was so much fun, and I've got a couple wishes granted as well. So I just want to say thank you to the entire community, because that was amazing to watch. It was amazing to participate in, and I really felt serious warm fuzzies for this community, just because none of us had to give out anything. None of us had to share or be generous or anything like that. But I knew I had some of this stuff sitting in my stash that I had bought at a time when I really loved it, but I hadn't done anything with it. So I was like, well, maybe I should just share that with somebody else. And I know that everybody else was kind of feeling the same way. And I just thought, what an amazing community that we belong to. I couldn't get over it. I just thought it was phenomenal to watch that happen on Instagram and watch people get their wishes granted. I thought that was awesome. So if you participated in that, thank you so much. Not just from me, but just for making this community the way that it is. I just loved it. I thought it was awesome. So anyway, that's kind of all I have for maintenance-y type stuff. Jibber jabber, whatever you want to call it. I have a couple finished objects, and the first one I'll show you is the one that I'm wearing. It's my So Faded sweater. The pattern is So Faded by Andrea Mowry, and the yarn I used is Whip Yarns. The gray color up here is Castle Stone. I don't know how bad it might be washing out, but and then I have this middle color, which is You Mean the World, and this darker teal color down here, called Chrysocola. I finished this maybe at the beginning of November, right at the beginning of November. I loved the way it turned out. I think the last time you guys saw it, I had one sleeve done and I was working on the other sleeve. So it was very close to being done last time. I've gotten oodles of compliments on it when I wear it. It's very comfortable. I actually wore this to Vogue Knitting Live. I went to Vogue Knitting Live on Saturday. It was up in Seattle. My husband and the kids and I all drove up, and they dropped me off at the Maiden Bower Convention Center, which was where Vogue Knitting Live was. And I had just bought like a marketplace ticket, and I was just going to hang out in the marketplace. And I met up with Carrie from The Creative Obsession and Michelle and Leslie from the Naughty Knitwits. And, Angelique from Black Sheep Fiber Company, and Laura, I think was her name. I'm not sure if Laura is a maker or anything like that, but they were so amazing to hang out with. It was so fun. And we had lunch together, and some of the ladies had some classes, so I would hang out a little bit here and there. I did quite a bit of shopping that day, so that's part of my yarn haul at the end. And I actually got to meet Andrea Mowry, and I bought her Comfort Fade cardigan pattern, and she signed the pattern for me and everything. That was very cool. But that day when I was wearing this sweater, I got so many compliments, and obviously it's a yarn festival, so everybody's wearing their knitted gear, and it was fun to see other people's versions of it. Carrie was also wearing her Comfort Fade cardigan, and so we were like twinsies. She did a lovely one in this lovely like lavender purple. It was beautiful, and hers is 3/4 sleeved, and it was gorgeous. And Leslie was actually wearing the Comfort Fade cardi, and I was not planning on working or making that pattern at all. I was gonna work on my sweater design pattern that I have kind of milling in my mind. But she was wearing this sweater all day, and hers was done in this awesome navy blue and orange and gray kind of palette. It was very cool. And so I just was looking at it all day, just like, oh, that's such an awesome sweater. Like, that'd be cool. I should make that sweater too. But I wasn't really planning on it, but sometimes you see other people and you see what they're wearing and you're like, I want that. So Leslie knows this. I've already told her. She's totally to blame for all of my sweater yarn purchases at Vogue Knitting Live, because I bought a sweater's quantity of yarn for the Comfort Fade cardi, and I bought a sweater's quantity of yarn for the sweatshirt sweater that she did by Pearl Soho. So I'll have to show you guys all that too. But I'd been wanting to make that sweater ever since she talked about it on her podcast. And she's also talked about it multiple times about how it is one of her favorite sweaters that she's made. And I'm like, I want that sweater too. So I want to have the favorite sweater, So anyway, it's kind of a long tangent. I wore my So Faded. It's an awesome sweater. My husband thinks it's probably one of the nicest ones I've done. He really likes how the color transitioned on it. And he just thought it was really cool. So that was nice also. I followed the pattern. I did the small size, I think. I'm not sure. I think it was a small. Excuse me. And I followed the pattern and just did 3 colors for my fade. So that is my first finished object, and I'm glad to have a sweater done. My second finished object is the fingering weight version of my Meriel Brioche Cowl, which, by the way, is available now on Ravelry for purchase. And I did put it up on Ravelry about a week and a half ago. And like I said, I wanted to get a podcast up, partly because I had just published that pattern, but also partly to let you guys know and show you this fingering weight version that I did, because I know the first version I did was a worsted weight version, and then I'd also done a bulky weight version. I really wanted this brioche cowl to be very versatile, so I wanted to have a fingering weight version to kind of give you guys an idea of what you could do with it with fingering weight. So I finished that, and this is my fingering weight version of the Meriel Brioche Cowl. Like I said, it is available on Ravelry now for purchase. The pattern is $5. I am going to put a coupon code in there for you guys, though, because I had it available for 20% off for the first week it was published. But I know because I didn't get my YouTube podcast up like I wanted to, I'm going to extend that offer to my YouTube video subscribers or viewers. So if you want a copy of this pattern and you want to get it for 20% off, if you put in the coupon code Meriel20, you will, in checkout at Ravelry, you will get 20% off. So I'll make sure to put that in the screenshot here. And this is the fingering weight version. For the yarn on this one, I use this limey green color is Hedgehog Fiber sock yarn in the fly colorway. And then this like aqua-y blue color is Hazelnut's Entice in the Splish Splash colorway. And I really like, I did the large size. So the cowl comes in 3 different sizes. When you do it for worsted weight, those 3 different sizes are fine. If you decide to do a fingering weight version, I do recommend not doing anything, not doing the small size, just because it would be like a turtleneck if you did the small size. Now, you could certainly do that if that's what you want. But I think if you want to have the right drape or anything, you should at least do the medium or the large size. And so this is the large size. And I also recommend if you're doing the fingering weight that you do 1 extra repeat of the pattern. The worsted weight one, let me show you, and the bulky weight one, you can see I only did 4 pattern repeats, so you get 3 of the leaf-like designs. And in this one, I did a 5th repeat, so you end up with 4. But you need that 5th repeat, I think, for the depth of the cowl. So that's what I would recommend for this one. You don't need 100 grams of yarn for each color. You need probably about 75. So you will have some leftovers with the large. And I know for knit's sake did one in a fingering weight version, and she did the medium size, and she used like about 50 grams of each fingering weight skein. And then depending on the fingering weight that you use, the heft of it, you might end up getting a little bit more, a little bit less. It's hard to say exactly, of course. And I also used a US size 4 needle. I think for knit's sake, Allison, she used a 5 when she did this one. So it's very versatile, this cowl. It's probably one of my favorite ones. I love cowls because they don't fall off. I hate them for not being reversible, because then you get the wrong side showing. Well, if the wrong side shows on this one, it's still like a right side, which is part of why I love brioche for that particular reason. So this is the fingering weight version. I will have to say, I'm not super thrilled with Hedgehog Fiber Sock yarn. It was extremely splitty. The colors are beautiful, but the yarn's really thin. It's almost a lace weight. I would not make socks out of it, to be honest. I know everybody loves it, or they love the colors of it, and I know it's one of those big major things like, oh, hedgehog. And it's great. Like, the yarn, it's beautiful. The colors are beautiful. I just think the base for the sock yarn is really kind of wimpy. That's just my personal opinion for what it's worth. The color is gorgeous. I think that they could get a better quality base, though, honestly. The Entice is a cashmere merino nylon blend in the hazelnuts, and it's much plumper, the yarn. And obviously, because of the cashmere, it's a lot softer. But I think I would have been happier had the hedgehog been a little more plump like the hazelnuts on the other side. I still really love the color contrast, but yeah, I was a little disappointed. I don't know if other people have had that with the, you know, hedgehog. Oh well. Anyway, so those are my finished objects, the fingering weight version of the Meriel Brioche Cowl. And I'll just show you. So here's my worsted weight version again. This is also the large. I mean, this thing is like ginormous for the large, but I love this one. And then I have a bulky weight version as well. Let me show you that one. And this one was done in let me tell you, this one was done in Malabrigo. The light purpley color here is Malabrigo Rios in the lotus color. And then the other side, this green, is Malabrigo worsted in the emerald color. And they're two different bases. One is a twisted and one's a single ply. And it worked really well together. I love how it turned out. I love how squishy this one is and how soft and cozy it is. It's probably like my favorite thing these days. The other one, sorry, playing with my hair. The other one is the bulky weight version, which this is the small size. And this is in Lorna's Laces Shepherd Bulky in the Christmas at Downton color on the one side and pewter on the other. And this is a nice, for a single loop cowl, because of the bulk of it, I really love the way this one turned out too. And this is so squishy and cozy. So if you want your own copy of that pattern, again, it's on my Ravelry store. It's the Meriel Brioche Cowl, and you can get it for 20% off using the code Meriel20 in the Ravelry checkout. So that is that for finished objects. As far as works in progress, I've been pretty monogamously knitting on that Comfort Fade cardi. I got the yarn when I was at Vogue Knitting Live, so part of it is already been knit up, obviously, and part of it is still in skeins. So let me kind of show you. Oh, see, and I got like I met Andrea Mowry, see, and I got a little autograph from her. That was super cool. I was stupid and we chatted for, maybe 5-10 minutes, and I totally did not ask her to take a picture with me, and I'm bad at that. I didn't take any pictures almost the entire day. No, the entire day. And I should have, like, we took a picture together with the bears. That picture's super cute. I think somebody got a picture of all of us at the restaurant. I need to get a copy of that. I was horrible, though. I didn't pull my phone out. I didn't do any kind of photo ops. I think I was like fangirl struck or something. I don't know. Anyway, so Andrea Mowry, though, was really nice. She is tiny in person. She's little. Like, I just didn't, I don't know. I expected her to be like me, like my size. And she's shorter and skinnier. And she's just this cute little person. Anyway, that's silly. But it's interesting because sometimes photographs are misleading. You see somebody and you kind of get one impression of them, and then you see them in person and you're like, oh, you're just this little thing. She's super cute, though, and was very nice, and it was great to meet her. So this is what I have so far. This is the Comfort Fade cardi. And I am past the armholes, and I'm down working on the body. I have faded now from this aqua color into this multi orangey blue, and then into this darker blue here, and then I have a fourth color that I'm going to add. This yarn is Magpie, and it's the Swanky DK base. I have one skein of this color, which I have lost the colorway. I have no idea what it is. It's coming up like kind of neon in there, but it's really not. It's just this beautiful blue. And then this is the Painted Desert colorway, which I think it's totally reminiscent of that. And then this one right here is Out of the Blue. And then the fourth colorway that I will be adding is this much darker blue. So it almost becomes gradient at that point. And the darker blue is Night Rain. And this is the Swanky DK base, which is a 80-10-10. So superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. It is so nice. And like, I've been monogamous on this. I really want this cardigan. And I've been trying to be monogamous on the things that I've been working on because I feel like I have so many projects and I start and I can't get anything done. So I really this is what I've been working on. I had to start a pair of socks too, but because I had to, you know. But I did because at Puyallup I wanted to be knitting, and I can't really knit this sweater while I'm standing around talking to people. I've tried, but anyway, let me kind of show you guys. So I am doing the medium, and right now I am on gauge. I think it will loosen up quite a bit when I block it, which will be fine because I want it to be a little bit oversized. I was going to do the small, and I'm really glad I'm doing the medium because I'm looking at this, and, you know, even with the collar, I think it's going to be, oh gosh, that's really washed out. Sorry, guys. But anyway, I got here, and I need to make sure that I do it longer. Her pattern only wants you to do like 12 inches from the underarm. Again, that might be because she's petite, and I think I'm going to need to do it a little bit longer. So she's been doing the color fade changes. I've been doing the color fade changes at every 5 inches. So, and then once you start in on the color transition, that's like another 2 inches. So I've got another maybe half an inch left on this, and then I'll transition into the other colorway. And I think that will be okay. I think that will be long enough. If I do another 5 inches, then I'm going to probably have a good maybe 15 inches from the underarm, and then I'll have like the big rib at the bottom. And then it will just be sleeves and collar. So I'm trying to do this one. I'm trying to be pretty monogamous, like I said, on it. My elbow's not been bothering me too bad, but I've also been trying to take it a little bit easy. I'm not overdoing it. I'm not knitting as quickly as I might normally do. But this I'm really, really excited about. The socks. Let me show you the socks I'm working on. And where did I put those? I may not, there. I may not pick these back up again for a while. Like I said, I'm going to be working mostly on the cardigan. But I just decided when I was working in Puyallup that I needed to have a easy pair of socks to be working on while I was talking to people, and that I could just have hanging off my arm in one of my project bags. So I had dyed up this purple color, which I don't really have a name for it, on my Jazzy Tweed base, and I had just decided I was going to do a ribbed sock. I don't have any ribbed socks, but I really, because I was doing this on size 1s, and I've knit a pair of socks with this yarn before, and it is, like, my gauge with this yarn is a little bit looser, I thought with the ribbing it would help. So I did a 3x1 rib, and I cast on 56 stitches, again because I know that my gauge with this particular yarn is a little bit looser. I wanted the sock to fit well. So I am on the heel turn right now, and then I will be working on the foot. I've kind of gotten out of the need to have a pair of socks done each month sort of thing. I'm not going to get this pair done by the end of November. I've worked a little bit on my Moody's stockings, but I'm not really interested in socks at the moment. A little bit, like I said, they're good, kind of good mindless stuff, and I might, if we go to a movie or do something like that, this would be what I would take with me, but I'm just not in the sock mojo right now. I have my 12 socks for the year, and I've been doing really well on hitting one a month, and I just died. I died. I don't really feel like doing any more at this point. So I will finish this pair, and I have my Harlequino sock. I need to do that one, but that one's going to be a while probably before I get that second sock done, which I really need to finish. So anyway, I'm not in the mood. I'm in the sweater knitting mood right now, and it's cold and I want all the sweaters. So that's what I'm going to be knitting with. So that's my other work in progress. Nothing exciting, just a pair of ribbed socks. No pattern, just cast on 56 stitches, did a three knit, 1 purl rib. So that's what I have, you guys, for works in progress. And I do have, like I said, lots of acquisitions to go over. So I showed you some of the yarn that I'm doing for my Comfort Fade cardi. And when I went to Vogue Knitting Live, I did kind of go crazy and buy a bit of yarn. But it was okay because it was kind of, I have my own little budget of fun money that I can play with that I don't have to really answer to for the family. And so I've been saving up that money, and I spent most of it at Vogue Knitting Live. But I have a plan. I had a plan for everything that I bought, which I was really grateful for. So I'll show you guys what those things are. Okay. You saw the Magpie that I got. I got sweaters quantity for the Comfort Fade cardi. There's one of the other colors. That's the Night Rain color. This is the Out of the Blue. And that's the color I'm currently on. And let's see. Oh, plus I got one of my Get Your Yarn Wish granted things in the mail already. So I'll show you guys that as well. So that's the one sweater, the Comfort Fade cardi. Then I also have plans. Sorry guys, I'm like bending over. I have plans to do a shawl. I want to make an exploration station. I've been wanting to make one for a really long time. I just haven't really found the right yarn. Putting yarn together sometimes and colors can be kind of hard. I got my stash out and I laid it all out one day, and I just couldn't come up with 4 colors that I thought I wanted to do. But I was at Vogue Knitting Live, and I kind of went on a mission to look for that yarn. So I found this one, which I really love. These 3 are all from Ritual Dyes. They're a Portland-based hand dyeing company. This first one is called Forage, and it's got like purples and browns, and it's kind of on a neutral base. It's really pretty. It is a 80/20 merino nylon. And then that one's called Forage. And then I got this one, which is Shines. And then I got this one, which is Belladonna. And I thought all 3 of those just went really well together. They kind of are very similar in tone. And so I needed that 4th color for the exploration station to be kind of like a solid and like a pop. So I picked up this. This is another hazelnuts, but this is on the Artisan Sock. And the color is Aquarius. And I thought I had to have help. Angelique helped me kind of put together this extra one. We went over to the hazelnuts booth because I know they had some really nice semi-solids. And we were kind of like, okay, what do you think? Which one do you think goes? And we picked out this one. And I really thought this one was really pretty. So that's going to be the section that sort of stripes in between the other sections. So I think that will be really, really great. I'm excited. That's going to become an exploration station by Stephen West. I have his book. I have the pattern already. So that will be that. And then I wanted to make the sweatshirt sweater, the Pearl Soho pattern that Leslie did. And I found this yarn. This is by Farmer's Daughter Fibers, who I'd never heard of them before, but their yarn was so beautiful. The color palette was so just different. So this is the color I got. It's on their tweed. Let's see what the base is called. Craggy Tweed. It's a DK, and it's just this like the color's olive oil, which it's this lovely olive color. And I kind of toyed with a couple different colors, but this is the one that I came up with. And so I think I have enough for the sweatshirt sweater. It may end up having to be a little like a 3/4 length sleeve, depending on how long I make the body and what my gauge comes out to be, but I'm hoping that I'll have enough. I bought 5 skeins. It should be enough. Like I said, if I have to, I can make them 3/4 length sleeves to kind of compensate for length. And so I got enough for that. I also bought, we stopped at Makers. Let me see what the name of that company was real quick. Makers Mercantile. They had a little booth at Vogue Knitting Live, and they had little felted Christmas ornaments. I thought that was so cute. I had to have that for my tree. And then I bought, this is a reversible project bag kit. It comes with everything you need to make the project bag. The stuff's already cut. Like, I don't have to do anything. I just have to put it together. So, and I already know how to make project bags, but I just thought this was so cute, and the way they packaged it and the instructions and everything. And I'm still looking for like the perfect size. So I kind of wanted to see how big this one came out to be and give it a try. So it's got a lovely little sheep and then this nice neutrally ribbon and inside. So very excited about that, just to have for fun. And that was kind of my haul from Vogue Knitting Live. I did get some mail the other day too. I told you guys maybe the last that I was able to catch a Plucky Knitter update on their website. And so I got 2 of the fingering weight Primo fingering, which is a 75 superwash merino, 20 cashmere and 5 nylon. And the colors I got were waders and corn maze. So I have not even opened these, but I've done some socks in this stuff, and I really, really love the socks, how they turned out. They're super squishy and nice. And I was thinking I'd do more socks, but I almost think these would make a beautiful 2-color shawl because the colors are so complementary. So this one's waders, and this one is corn maze. And there are 385 yards in each skein. So I kind of been toying with the idea of doing a fingering weight version of my Yexa shawl or a fingering weight version of the Hepzibah shawl, just so that, again, there's variety for people out there. Sometimes people don't want a DK weight shawl, or sometimes they don't want, a worsted weight shawl. So I may throw this together as like a fingering weight version for Yexa, or there's a couple other patterns that I have that I might actually do with this instead. So we'll see. I'm not sure what that's going to become, but I really wanted to have that in my stash. And I was excited to be able to catch that update, because it's hard to catch a Plucky update. And I, like I said, participated in the Get Your Yarn Wish Granted, and I have never worked with barnyard knits, and I know the Naughty Knitwits, they talk about their yarn all the time, and I really wanted to get some, and I could have gone out and bought some, it would have been fine, but you know, that was just something I thought I'd throw out there in the Get Your Yarn Wish Granted and see what happened. And Allison, for Knit's sake, she had some and she gifted it to me, and look at this color, it's so amazing. It's like dark purples and sprucey green, and it's called Autumn Crocus, and it's a 75-25 sock weight yarn. It's so awesome. And she sent this 50 gram from Yarn Habits, which is also 75-25 on the color Chica, and it's like a perfect complement to that. So I'm very excited to have both of these. That was so nice of Allison to share her yarn with me. I know she very, very generous. It was great to be able to participate in that. And lovely, lovely stuff. So exciting. So that's all I have for my acquisitions. I'm going to pause for a second and kind of collect the yarn for the shop update so I can show you guys what that's all about. And I'll be right back. Maybe. Okay, real quick though, before I do that, I wanted to share with you guys another thing that I picked up. So when I was in Puyallup, there was a booth a couple ways down from me that had some fabric, and of course, because it was like a quilt craft and sewing festival, so there was lots of fabric. I think I was the only person with yarn, but I happened to see this apron pattern and thought that these would be great gifts for Christmas. So I bought this apron pattern. It's called the Cutie Pie Apron, and it's so cute. And she had done up a couple, so that was part of the reason why I ended up buying some. So I've got, they're not really reversible, but they're double-sided, so you don't have like any seams showing basically. So I have a couple different ones that I'm putting together. So let me show you kind of what I'm going to do for those. So one of them is going to have this awesome camping fabric on the front. So let me see if I can get kind of the full. It's just got these really great, like, different tents and trailers and lawn chairs and stuff, and I thought that'd be really cute. And I thought the complementary color or pattern for this one would be this amazingly gorgeous blue, almost like cherry blossoms, but not really cherry blossoms. And so those are going to become one apron. I'm going to make 3. I will keep one of them, and 2 of them will go as gifts for Christmas. One of the other ones that I saw was this one with these bees on it. So this is this lovely bee, real pale, beautiful, kind of neutrally gray. I don't even know if you can see that very well. Bees. And then this for the other portion. So those will go together. And I may actually throw, I have some, oh, let me see. I have some of this I got extra for like part of one of the other ones. I thought I'd do for the inside of the pocket. So I might throw a little bit of this in there. I'm not sure though. It's definitely going on one of the other ones. But there's that. And then the last one, this one kind of came with this. So the last one is that same blue flower, but the front's going to be these chickens and roosters. And then she had done like part of the pocket with this on it. I kind of liked the way that one looked. And she'd also used like rickrack on the front here to kind of embellish it a little bit. I thought that was awesome. I'm planning on either doing that, or we had talked, sorry guys, dropping everything. We had talked about maybe even doing like crochet flowers and then sewing them on that apron area. And I could totally do that. Like little crochet flowers would be so cute, especially on the bumblebee one. Little white with maybe some yellow centers or something. That would be really adorable. So that is sewing projects that I'm going to actually be trying to work on today because I have most of the day free and I'll be able to do that. So let me show you a little bit of the yarn that's going to be going in the shop. So this will be at yarninu.com, and they will be under a ready to ship or available now kind of thing. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to set it up because I've got, anyway, some of the stuff on my website is dye to order, and some of the stuff is like one of a kind, ready to go right now. These are not necessarily one of a kind. They are, but they are colorways that I've been working on, and so this is what I have currently. So they will be just under the base. Like this is all, some of this is on Alternative Sock, which is my 75 Superwash Merino, 25% nylon. So this is Alternative Sock, and this colorway is the Ruins. And then I have this one also available on Alternative Sock. This one is called Clover Patch. And then I have this one, and this is called Puget Sound. This is also, all of these are Alternative Sock. And this one, which is called Cornucopia. And this one, which is Dark and Stormy. And I think that's all that I have on Alternative Sock that's ready. And I do have a couple skeins on my Jazzy Tweed, and this one is called Bouquet. And the Jazzy Tweed is 85% superwash merino and then the 15% colored nylon neps. So I have Bouquet. I have this light purple one called Sitting Room. And this green and blue and lime color called Tree Frog. And those are available, will be available in the shop. And then I have one on my sparkle base that is this one. And it's called, oh gosh, sorry guys, it's really washing out. It's called Breaking Violet. You can see the specklies on those. And that's on my Rock and Roll Sock base, which is the sparkly one. And it is a 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 5 silver stellina. And then I have a couple new colorways in my striping sock yarn. I do have some of my other colorways that are ready to ship as well. But this is one of the new ones, and this is my Christmas colorway. This is called Christmas Nougat. So I have one of these. This is on Alternative Sock, available now for shipping. And then I will also have this available for dye to order if you are interested in getting it on one of the different bases or whatnot. So there's that. My dye to order ones might not show up for a little while. I have to order some more yarn. So some of them, if you do purchase one, I do have yarn coming. I have some available. It just depends on what gets ordered. I have some skeins available for dyeing up right now, but you know, if they go, then I'll have more coming in a little bit. So I will let you know if it's going to take a little while, but if you do want to do a dyed to order. This is Here Come the Ducks. And then I have, and that's on alternative sock. And then I have Here Come the Beavers. And this is on my Jazzy Tweed base. So those are 3 new self-striping colorways that I have, and they're available now. Then I have some DK that's also available currently. So I have this color, which is Pisces. I have 2 skeins of this. It's like an aqua with speckles of rusty and teal. I have 2 of those. And then I have 1 of the aquamarine. Oh, excuse me, not aquamarine, Aquarius color. I have 1 of this DK in plum. Oh, and by the way, I think like these 2 would make a super cool Gexa. And so I have a plum, and I have this one, which is called Pink Fluff. This one would look so good with either the plum as a 2-color shawl, or this color, which is Lark. It would go really nice with that one too. Or you could do a 3-color something or other. Maybe the Jody shawl. Who knows? So those are available for order. And then I have this one, which is a Seahawk inspired colorway called To the Playoffs. Just got those lime greens and gray and blue. And then I have 2 skeins of Journey, which is lovely deep blue. Everything looks so bright on the screen. I have no idea how it's turning out. And 1 skein of Stone. So those will be up on the shop. Probably I will do the shop update later tonight. And so it will be maybe this evening. I should have it done before the podcast is up, hopefully. But sometimes that takes a little bit of time. I also have a couple little mini gradient sets. This first one is the pink gradient. So it's 5 mini skeins. They're all 20 grams a piece. And there's it goes light to dark. So this is the pink gradient. I have blue gradient. Again, they all look washed out. And I have a purple gradient. And these are all on my rock and roll base, which is the Stellina base. I have those 3 available as well. So that's what I have for shop update. Thank you guys so much for popping in and saying hi and spending a little bit of time with me. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you like the podcast, please be sure to subscribe to it and hit the like button. Also, don't forget we're doing the 800 subscriber giveaway. You want to go over and enter in to win that skein of Done Roving yarn on the Frolicking Feet and the project bag. Thanks so much. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys later.